Hello, my sweet soul siblings. This is for the collective 111, and I am back with another reading. This reading is for the first quarter moon to the full moon, and I have a visit from Archangel Uriel. So this message will be from Archangel Uriel to you in this period between the first quarter and the full moon that is coming up. So for pile number 1, we have the Agni Manitite again as your stone. As well as Inisco Swana, which deals with celestial alignment. For pile number 2, we have Garnet, which is pretty cool. And this card, Appreciation. And for pile number 3, we have the Hypersthene crystal, which is pretty neat. And we have the card Peacock Spirit. So these are your 3 piles. I will have a little bit more about these crystals available in the description box as well. So you can study those as well if you'd like to use your crystal to choose, and meditate a little bit more on that before you start your reading. But feel free to take some time here and choose whichever crystal or card that you are drawn to today. I also will draw some signs as well to match up with these here. So for pile number 1, we have, let's see, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aries. For pile number 2, we have Libra, Virgo, Aquarius, and Pisces. And for pile number 3, we have Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Cancer. So you can feel free to pause the video to take as long as you need to choose whichever pile you are drawn to. And we will see you in the reading. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen, if you've chosen by a stone or crystal, you have chosen the awesome Agni Manitite, and it is known for the solar plexus, and so it is extremely powerful. It is actually has the same vibrational frequency as moldavite, and so it's super strong. So it'll be really interesting to see how this weighs out in your reading. You can learn a little bit more about the Agni Manitite in the description box below. You can click on it there, but it's also known as the Pearl of Divine Fire. So we will keep this over here to remind us during the reading. If you chose by card, you chose the beautiful Ikosasana card here, which is the goddess of celestial alignment. And the deck that we'll be using primarily will be the African Goddess Rising deck here, and we'll be seeing a little bit more about that in a little bit. And if you chose by your signs, you chose the sign of either of Leo, Scorpio, Aries, or Taurus. Any way that you ended up choosing, I hope that you did so with your intuition. If these are not your signs, it's not a big deal at all. The biggest thing is that you chose by your gut. That's going to be the biggest thing, and that's going to help you the most within your reading. Some of the energies of these different signs may be in this reading. Like for example, Agni Manitite is known for the Leo sign, is connected to the Leo sign. So that's, I guess, how things work out. But first, let's start our reading, learning a little bit more about this goddess here. So this goddess is actually from the Zulu tribe in South Africa, and is known as the healer of healers and the teacher of teachers, whose love for humanity makes the corn grow. And she dwells in foamy waters, but is known as the heavenly princess. As above, so below is this celestial alignment. And so her guidance to you is that your natural path is to be aligned with your own divinity. No one can take from you what they didn't give you. The biggest thing to think about here is, how do you want to feel? You think often about what you want, but goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. Celestial alignment is being in sync with the energetic feeling, the frequency of the sacred, everything that you desire in that frequency. So match it with your feelings. That is the energy of the goddess. And the declaration that she gives to us is, I am always being guided in the right direction. So pile number one, it looks like you were called during this time between the first quarter and the full moon to recognize that celestial alignment, to lean a little bit more into that at this time. Let's see what other cards may pop up for you from Archangel Uriel. One thing that's interesting about Archangel Uriel, he's the type to basically tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. So this one's coming out. Okay, grounding. So that's something to remind us of. Also, notice that this is the number 41. You add these together, and that's the number 5. So there's likely during this time going to be some changes that are going to come about. You're also being called to ground as well with the number 3, grounding yourself in that mind, body, and spirit. Also thinking of the Christ consciousness of integrating yourself. If you've been feeling a little bit off, if you feel like you haven't been getting the downloads that you have really been wanting, like for that celestial alignment, you're called to get out and be in nature, ground yourself, take the time to slow down so that you can reconnect with the divine. Also, I'm hearing this is upside down, and you got Mama Jumbo, who is that calls us to shine. And this is upside down in the sense that this is being emphasized. So this is one of the messages here to that you may have been dulling your shine, so to speak. It might be something that that you may have learned in your childhood to not necessarily stand out to people. But at this moment, you are being called to shine in all of your glory. And it's interesting, we've got the ram here, so I was like, this might be a call out for the Aries in the group here. Look, and there's another one too in this one. So definitely Aries, if you're an Aries, I think this one's especially for you. But yeah, it's really interesting. So let's clarify a little bit more. I want to actually read a little bit more from Mamba Jumbo in this one. And you notice that this is also the number 32. It adds up to 5 again. So there are absolutely some changes and transformation that's coming your way during this this time between the first quarter to the full moon cycle that's coming up. So so the Mamba Jumbo is known from the forests of Guinea-Bissau. I'm like, that's where my ancestors are from. And obviously, you know, if her voice or her name sounds familiar, it's because the colonizers had thought that they were saying like mumbo jumbo, which means gibberish. But even regardless of that, you know, this is, she calls us to shine. This is the goddess of shine. So Mamba Jumbo's guidance to us is that you were born to shine, be seen, be heard, be a movement. We need to know your name. We want to learn your dance. And so here it says, daring to rise and shine starts with the courage to be seen and heard. Your story matters, and someone needs to hear it. Fear of shining brightly keeps you in the shadows, hiding and shrinking. There's no way to claim your voice and avoid rejection, criticism, and judgment. But you are not for everybody. If everyone likes you, you're not being you. And so one affirmation that this goddess calls us to is that I am ready to be seen and heard. And so again, this is an emphasis in your reading pile number 1. Let's see, I'm getting the urge to do some angel numbers from Archangel Uriel to help us out with some clarifications on what's going on during this time period. So Archangel Uriel, what guidance or energies are okay around us here? Oh, okay. So we've got 1313, which is the starting fresh, and it's calling us to get out of our comfort zone. You are about to create something meaningful. All your skills and talents will bring you some auspicious profits. Build up your confidence and trust in your decisions. Again, it goes along with that call to shine here. You're being encouraged by your angels to look after those creative ventures that you may have. So if you have a specific idea or something that has been coming, that's landing on the celestial alignment. Those ideas are coming to you from your source, from your angels, from your different guides. So definitely follow on that. if you were to add all of these numbers together, you end up with the number 8, which means abundance. So you definitely are sitting on something. 1 has to do specifically with you, and 3 has to do with creativity. And again, that God consciousness. It is something that grounds you to who you truly are. And we are called to see it. So let me know in the comments if this is kind of resonating with you. I wouldn't say that you're, don't tell us your idea. Wait until it's all into fruition before you say it. But I'm really excited for you. Let's see what else Archangel Uriel may have for us in terms of messages. Also be on the lookout for 1313 if you're seeing that as a repeat number. So I think this one's calling out. Okay. 0404. So this is calling you to slow down. Pay close attention to people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues. Communicate clearly and keep healthy boundaries. And again, this goes along with that grounding piece, to be able to slow down so that you can get those divine messages that have been coming to you. One thing that I can say with this is that you are protected, especially with the numbers 0 and 4. 0 represents the God consciousness, that infinite consciousness that's with you, and 4 like has to deal with building and your angels as well. And so your angels are with you. They are protecting you during this time, but that doesn't mean that we don't do the work too, right? So the biggest thing is to remember to slow down and remember your boundaries here. Again, adding these all together, it adds up to 8. So again, there is abundance that's coming between this period. Let's see if we can get one more card for you guys. Archangel Uriel. Oh, we got 2. Okay. So we've got, so 2002, the void, and 0440. So, oh wow, and I talked about gut feeling earlier too today. So the first one we have here is to recognize that you have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. So again, that recognition that that idea that you may have is like, that's something that interests you, that can turn things around and it will get better. Says that there's plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, open up, and go outside. So 2 really represents that partnership, joining up into relationships. So if you've kind of felt kind of that hermit energy, it seems like Spirit's kind of pushing you to at least take some steps to reconnect, not only with your spirit guides and your angels and your source, but with other people as well. They also can represent those who are really integrated with Spirit as well. And so I think that together with this, of course, be discerning with the people that you're hanging out with, but don't completely shut yourself out from everyone because of any fear that you may have about connection. Lean into that gut feeling that you have. Follow your gut. It's more than just a feeling. Be real with people and focus on meaningful relationships. That's just what I got through talking about. So really discern in your relationships who fills you and who drains you. That is one thing that will help in your discernment as you go from the first quarter to the full moon. Also, know that know that you must bring value to the table. Treat others with respect, else karma will bite your ass. So 3 is a crowd. Again, what's really super interesting looking at all of these have some type of 4 energy or 8 energy. So obviously angels are definitely surrounding you, and so is a lot of abundance as well. I'm going to take one more deck to clarify a little bit more. We'll actually do some tea leaves. See what the tea leaves have to say as well. So Archangel Uriel, you help me out with some tea leaves to help guide our sweet pile number 1. See this first one. So we've got control your anger or you will be sorry. Okay. We've got number 2. Oh, nice. Boat. So this is money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. So again, I told you that abundance energy was all up in this this reading. So not surprising at all. Pile number 1. Let's see. I'm feeling this one. Oh, we got a month of the year. March. So maybe this is happening in March with money or property coming through. Happening, possibly. And, or either that or that it's a significant time. Also, it's like maybe you look out for the number 3s at your time. Let's see what else. We'll do one more. Okay. Someone, Cassie, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So, again, is this kind of landing on that gut feeling? You may be called during this period of time to kind of discern your relationships. What are ones, again, like I said, who's filling you, who's not filling you. Follow your gut on whether you should continue those relationships, and those that you decide to continue, do continue to connect with them with this 2002 energy. But allow those that aren't filling you to leave in your life right now. This is energy, especially with the full moon going up. With the full moon, it's known for letting go of the things that no longer serve us. And this time, specifically between the first quarter and the full moon, is kind of some of the toughest times as we struggle to let go of those things that no longer serve us and we start seeing those things. So it's going to be really important to lean into that gut feeling. There is someone that may be going out of your life, or the end of a situation, the end of a cycle, so to speak. But again, when it comes to the flow of the universe, what goes out, there's always something that's going to come back in. So I think that's where I will leave this reading. Again, pile number 1, thank you so much for tuning in for your reading. If you liked this reading, be sure to like and subscribe for more as well. Also, let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you. I do want this to be a community where we can learn and grow together. But until next time, know that I love you, that God, Source, your spirit guides and angels love you very much, and know that we're all in this together. Bye. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose by crystal or stone, you chose the awesome Garnet crystal, and this specifically is a Rhodolite Garnet crystal. you can learn a little bit more about this in the comments, in the crystal preview, but this crystal has to deal with emotional healing, self-worth, walking on your spiritual path, and it definitely has to do with the root chakra, but with this particular garnet, it also hits the heart and the crown chakra, so we will see how that ends up playing into our reading. If you ended up choosing by your card today, starting out with our reading, is Appreciation. And the deck that we'll be using primarily for this reading will be Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and you can get more of the information on that also in the comments as well. And if you chose by your zodiac signs, you have chosen either Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, or Virgo. And if you aren't any of these signs, that's totally okay. The biggest thing is that you chose with your intuition, because that is honestly the thing that works the strongest here with all of these different messages. So first, again, we are channeling the Archangel Uriel to kind of see what kind of messages that he has for us during this time between the first quarter and the full moon. And the first thing that we're getting here is appreciation here, and you notice that the moon's there too as well. So let's take a look at the guidebook here to give a little bit more perspective as well. So from the guidebook, we see that usually when this card appears, and this has got some Leo energy with the moon of course has to do with your emotions. Again, it has to do with the security and creative expression with the Leo, but it can indicate that there's a powerful need for recognition in some aspect of life. There may be a feeling that those around are not responding appreciatively enough, provoking an unhelpful, over-the-top response. The card can also indicate emotional dependency on a partner or close friends. But positively, if the card isn't referring to the questioner, it can portray someone who is popular, generous, and much admired by others. So you may be in either one of those situations. Either you kind of have this sense of codependency with someone, or feeling that they may be not reciprocating in the best ways that you truly want them to during this time, or you're really super popular. Hopefully we can find out a little bit more through the other oracle cards here to help clarify as well what's kind of going on in your situation here. Archangel Uriel, can you help clarify a little bit what's going on with the appreciation? What's something to be looking for? What is some guidance that you may have? So you can hopefully guide pile number 2. Okay, so we've got a few. This one, let's see, we have extremism and organization that's coming out. So I'm noticing that there's this bird, and I also see that there's a relationship that's involved here as well. And so clarifying the appreciation, I feel like during this time between the first quarter and the second quarter, if you are in a relationship, perhaps there might be some troubled waters or some extremism or maybe acting out that's going on right now. And there's this need to really get organized and really, at least what I'm hearing is like kind of lay out the facts versus, jumping to conclusions. Again, it's kind of like almost a call to kind of step back a little bit. Perhaps your emotions or the emotions of somebody that you're with may be on the extreme side because of a feeling of a lack of appreciation. It's always important to, look at ourselves and step back to see whether and verify whether those feelings are true. We all have different ways of receiving love, and not everybody receives love in the same way. So during this time, if you are with someone, it's recommended that you kind of step back and take stock of what's going on. Whether it is you who might be jumping to the extremes of feelings, or it's the other. Know that the feelings are there because there's love there, right? For those who are not in a relationship right now, this also could be a friendship that this might be with as well. I'm also hearing for some, it has to do with work relationships too, as well, with some extremism. Again, that you can kind of take it in whatever situation it may be in, whether it is you who might be in the fields, so to speak, or if it seems like it's a coworker or a boss or something like that, that might be taking things to the extreme. I'm also kind of drawn to this almost like a contract here. So maybe it might have to do a little bit with that as well. I do notice the birds that are here, and birds typically kind of revolve around like angels and guides and what's not. So I'm assuming that they're around this situation. And again, when it comes to reaching out to your guides, they're absolutely there to help you and guide you along this situation, and check you in your situation, but you gotta ask for their help. So I do recommend that. And possibly organization for some of those. It may be an organization that is causing these feelings of underappreciation and that need for appreciation, and that like kind of making you jump out of that extremism. So for some, that might be something that's along those lines. Let's find out a little bit more. I want to check with the No Coincidences deck, so let me grab that. All right, let's see. Archangel Uriel. What guidance can you help us with here to clarify this situation in regards to appreciation or lack thereof? Okay, insects. I'm gonna move these up here. So we've got insects. And usually it has to do, let's see, upside down. I'm hearing this as an emphasis. Okay. Insects are, usually insects make us kind of jump and want to just like crawl away, and we have those reactions to them. So it's kind of like that second nature type of deal. Pluto, okay. And this is also an emphasis as well. We'll take a look and see. Okay. Birds again. Wow. Birds. We'll find out more. Ooh, okay. And these two. Geometry and Saturn. Okay, let's learn a little bit more about these. All right. Yep. And exactly what I was talking about. The insect card is about knee-jerk reactions and innate response, just as our bodies have physiological reactions to bug bites. Some of us, present company included, are more allergic than others. Insects elicit raw emotions and behaviors. Indeed, even the toughest looking person can revert to almost like a toddler like state, swatting, running, panicking when encircled by a curious yellow jacket. Similarly, this card invites you to tap into your raw emotions, sensitivities, and urges. Give yourself permission to explore beyond social niceties and expectations and formalities. This is about dialing into your innate nature, honoring your core reactions and responses by aligning to your primordial sensations. Get out of your head and connect with your body. The insect card welcomes humility, vulnerability, and unpolished expression. So this is an invitation to feel the feels and recognize that to recognize the extremes that you are having right now in terms of the appreciation. Recognize what's happening in your body in regards to the relationships that are around you right now. Now with the Pluto usually has to deal with some major transformation and rebirth. So really digging deep. So these two together, especially with them with emphasis, it's really asking you to go deeper into the why you're feeling this way, why you're feeling the extremes. And this is specifically with yourself as well. One thing that kind of stands out to me, it says, perhaps you've been clinging to an existing status quo, afraid of what you'll discover. It's important to remember, however, that averting your eyes is not the same as repairing the damage. If something's broken, it will remain that way until it's fixed. Pluto invites you to take a deep breath and descend into the basement. Sure, it may not be pretty. Musty cellars are filled with bulky equipment and unsightly storage, but those machines and control panels and levers are the heartbeat of the home, and maintenance is necessary. With Pluto on your side, you're armed with strategy, courage, and the magic of regeneration. Don't be afraid to flip the switch. So, again, there is a lot of feelings involved, and it's going to take some time to really step back and assess what you're feeling in your body, what your feelings are coming from, where those feelings are coming from, and also to, really step back and see whether those feelings are substantiated or not. And that's not always the most fun thing to do. But this is something that you're being asked by Archangel Uriel to confront during this time. And again, during the first quarter to the full moon, we obviously see a lot of challenges that come up as we are trying to let go of the things that no longer serve us. But it's most important to face those challenges head on as we try and figure out what we should let go and what we've been holding on to. In this case, it seems like it may be feelings. So again, the bird does have to do with, those who are watching us, again, that confirmation that your angels are there to guide you during this time. They also can represent those who have departed as well. So they're basically saying hello to you, and that they're around. If you're looking for some advice, seek them out. If you're hearing ringing in your ears, those are your angels. It's not anything that's it's not just you. Let's just say that they are trying to reach out to you. So take the time and just ask them questions and see what comes back. You might think about doing some automatic writing during this time, where you kind of just sit back and ask a question of your angels, and sit there with a journal and just write down anything that kind of comes into your mind without any judgment. You can always go back and figure out what's yours and what's not, but take this time and do that. That might kind of help give you some guidance as you do this. So in terms of the geometry piece, and I feel like this has to do with the organization, I would probably say what really stands out to me here is that is it, or maybe it's time to direct your attention to your habitat. Adjust wall art that's slightly askewed. Create symmetry at your workstation. Geometry is mathematics, but it's also experimental. Just like modern architecture axiom, form follows function. Remember that you are a cosmic pattern too. And so it's, asking us to shift the emotional or physical environment. This is interesting about perhaps your thinking has been too circular. Again, it's almost that invitation to look a little bit deeper into the patterns that we may be doing, whether we want to have them or whether we don't want to have them. And a lot of these patterns that we have may have been inherited from our ancestors, from those that came before us, and so it's important for us to really take a deep look at where these extremisms are coming from, whether they are actually from us or not, and to be able to discern whether they're no longer needed for us in our lives. And finally, Saturn here. This is so funny. Were you planning on taking a shortcut? Saturn begs to differ. When this card emerges, it's time to get serious. In this deck, the Saturn card symbolizes maturity, responsibility, and commitment. Forget whining, complaining, or feeling sorry for yourself. Saturn's tough love approach says, it is what it is. Does that seem a little bit harsh? That's the whole point. From a symbolic perspective, Saturn's function is cold stoicism. Saturn asks you to look at the reality of your situation, no matter how disappointing or frustrating it might be, and accept it at face value, acknowledging all the thorns and the blemishes and failures. Life isn't easy, but now what? Baked with Saturn's severe angles of themes of patience, wisdom, and genuine achievement. Yes, in order to create something that is truly built to last, you will need to overcome impossible odds. But right now, the presence of Saturn is the green light from the universe. So long as you're willing to put in the work, you absolutely have what it takes to reap the most fulfilling rewards. So again, this digging deep here is that reoccurring theme, and it's really tough work. But really analyzing those patterns are what's going to really help you along the way. So before we go, I will do some final guidance with the Angel Numbers deck to see what guidance Archangel Uriel may have for you during this time between the first quarter and the full moon here in December. Okay. Compromise. Wow. Oops. It's like in my headphone just came out really quickly, and so maybe you're trying to not hear anything anymore. Like sometimes it's hard to hear certain things, and so you want to take out your headphones from hearing things. But it's asking you to compromise during this time. Wow. Oh my gosh, I can't make that up. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. So, 0 represents God energy. That's around you for like source energy, universe. And 7 has to deal with spiritual enlightenment, that being able to connect with your higher self. And when you add these together, it adds up to the number 5, which means transformation. So, during this time, you're asked to let go of what no longer serves you, to really look and at your emotions and see if there's a compromise right now afterwards. I've said this, I think, in the other pile. Archangel Uriel tends to give not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So here we go, 2020. So compassion. It's a confirmation that your assumptions and your beliefs are correct, but it's also an encouragement to use your talents and gifts because they will benefit the world and your pockets. Be a service to others. Your potential is enormous. So I think that, at least from what I'm gathering and from what I'm hearing, this compassion has to do within your relationships. Honor your feelings that you have, but be willing to admit if you've been, on the extremes, and have compassion not only for yourself, but the people that are in that situation. So this one's kind of standing out to me, and this one's an emphasis, and we'll take this one. All right, cool. So this one here, 222 alignment, again, connections, friendships, romantic relationships, family ties. How do you move forward towards your true life's calling? Do what makes you happy. Your enthusiasm is what keeps you going. Follow your interest if it's piqued by something. Following these routes will help you discover your life's purpose. And since this is kind of landing on the geometry, I think of the alignment, recognizing the patterns in things. And it may truly be this, these friendships or connections, romantic relationships, specifically on the organization, though it may have to do with your business as well. But you're called to kind of step back and reflect and see if things are aligned and where they come from. It's like this says, it's gonna be hard, but it will be worth it in the end. And cool thing is that you have 9999, which is the end of the cycle, and with a lesson being learned. Take stock of your accomplishments and how you arrived at them. This is a reminder to maintain optimism and drive towards your goals. Maintain your momentum and know that the powers of heaven have your back. You made it, and the reward goes to you. Here's a little message to the editor. Put a U in there. Yeah, it seems like at the end of this full moon, you will have the opportunity to have this cycle geometry and to actually learn from the lesson and move on, just like the Saturn was telling us. So overall, it looks like your time to the full moon may be a bumpy one, but it looks like it's an overall positive, that you'll learn and gain a lot from all of this. With the 3 2s, this is adding up to the number 6. So helping out with balance, wholeness, family. It's something that will kind of help you in recognizing your wholeness emotionally, especially with the Garnet I'm reminded of. Do take a chance to meditate on this. Get grounded in what you feel and recognize what's going on in your body there, so you can move forward and go into wholeness. It's definitely showing that it will be there for you at the end towards your full moon. So pile number 2, this has been your reading. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. I do want this to be a community that is filled with love and light and is there to support one another through this journey. So be sure to go in the comments and let me know how this may have resonated with you. But until next time, know that I love you, that God, Source, angels, or universe loves you very much, and that we are all in this together. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose by your stone or crystal, you chose the Hypersthene stone, which is super cool. The cool thing about this one has to deal with self-knowledge through visionary awareness, receiving understanding through connecting with the morphic fields, and self-healing through visualization. But the most cool piece about this is accepting one's shadows. So we'll see how that might play into your reading. You can find out a little bit more about this stone as well in the comments. Now, if you chose by your card, you chose the Peacock Spirit. And we're going to be using the Spirit Animal Oracle deck for this, mainly through the reading and clarifying with some others. And if you chose by your signs, you've chosen either Gemini, Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Cancer. So if you're any of these signs, welcome. And if you aren't any of those signs, welcome as well. You don't have to be one of these signs to have this reading apply to you. The biggest thing is just really choosing by your intuition. That's really the biggest guidance that you can have here. Oh, also another thing too is with the Hypersthene is that it rules the third eye. So again, we will see how that plays out, and obviously see some beautiful blue in this peacock as well. So let's learn a little bit more about this through the guidebook, as it does give some really good insight here. So your oracle message: when is the last time you shook your tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression. And you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are for your manifestation of spirit. Come out from the shadows, Peacock Spirit says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with the life force energy and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in the celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. Your protection message, or the shadow aspect of this message, is: are you afraid of dancing with abandon because of what others might think. This is quite rude to me because this is also something that that I tend to struggle with. Do you think that you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect to be hurt if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine. That is okay. Peacock Spirit is here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyway. Model the good fortune and abundant joy that is yours. And soon someone will say, me too, and join you. Spirit loves you so much and wants you to enjoy the dance and shine your light. So I'm a little emotional with that one because that hits me pretty harsh. But also too, if you are drawn to pile number 1, there was also another message that also reiterated the shine piece, to not contract as we are used to doing. That might be a defense mechanism that we've kind of learned along the way. But to shine and show our true authentic selves. So during this time, Archangel Uriel is asking us to really lean into shining, to lean into joy, to lean into the beauty that is within you. And if others don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to, you don't have to answer to them. You answer to yourself and your spirit, and you are called to do some amazing things. So let's find out a little bit more of what messages Archangel Uriel may have for us. Pile number 3. Archangel Uriel, what other messages or energies may be surrounding us during this last quarter to full moon of December? Again, let's see. There we go. This one's standing out to me. Brown bear spirit, take the time out. That seems to be a reoccurring theme across all of these different piles. Taking the time out to hibernate, like the bear here. Again, this blue is also calling out, perhaps this might be a time to recharge that third eye. I'm seeing a bit of blurriness in this sense. And so slowing down, and also leaning into the things that you're passionate about, may help to restore some of the power there that's within your third eye. Also, one thing to recognize too as well, this 46, it adds up to 10, and tarot 10 is it's beyond fulfillment. It's going past the fulfillment and going into the excess, usually happiness, but it's excess energy. And so it's funny that it has, let it shine there with that energy. 9 is fulfillment energy. So there's a lot of really great energy, the end of a cycle. Perhaps at least the thing that I'm hearing is that call to end the cycle of the usual of stepping back, of hiding. This is a chance to really start to break that and lean into that. But in order to have the energy to do it, you're going to need to take the time out and rest, hibernate, so to speak, and during this time. Spirit weather messages, Archangel Uriel, do you have for pile number 3? What are some other messages that you may have for us during this time? Let's see, this one's kind of was standing out. Okay, this one's coming with 2, so let's see what this is. Be at home, Wombat spirit, and this buffalo spirit. And I'm feeling that this is an emphasis here. Yeah, an emphasis on this one. And gosh, look, another number 10. So that excess energy, the abundant universe will provide. Oh, wow. So, and am I feeling my my heart chakra going off right now? So I feel like some of you possibly, and this is a specific one, maybe going through some loss at this time. Whether it is through loss of abundance in terms of wealth, or money, or just having like worries. I'm feeling a lot of constriction in the heart area. But during this time between the first quarter and the full moon cycle, where we're called to let go what no longer serves us, you're called to let go of those worries, and which I know is very hard to do. But it's Archangel Uriel is really telling you that the abundant universe will provide for you, regardless of what it may look like. And that is an emphasis for us. The other is be at home, and I'll be curious to see specifically what this means, whether this is kind of like, oh gosh, when I think about wombat, I kind of think of just, you know, kind of curling up and, you know, being at home, finding a home somewhere, kind of similar to this brown bear spirit, to like kind of rest and, you know, find a cozy space. But I also notice how like they're adorned here. It's almost like they have a crown with them, with this jewel, with some green in there, and maybe it's kind of minding you right now during this time to find home within your heart, wherever that is. And it can be at different places. Sometimes we can be, you know, sometimes the home that you may be in may not feel like home, but being with particular people make you feel at home. Notice when you feel at home with particular people and when you don't. And you're invited to own that, to be at home with those who are home for you, to be in the spaces that feel like home for you during this time. I want to, let's take another look, because this is, and this also adds up to the single number 5, meaning that there's some transformation on the heels of this period of time as well. So let's take a look at what the message has to say on the wombat spirit here, just out of curiosity. So we have, let's see, have it saying, burrowing deep into the ground. Yep, see, that's what I figured. Remaining safe, sound, and well fed with family is a special trait of the wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat spirit reminds you that to be truly at home in the world, you need to find comfort within your own skin. You do this by accepting all your experience without judgment. That reminds us of accepting your shadows, through a deep honesty and love of life. When you feel the freedom to be yourself, again, let it shine, you can begin to truly feel at home in your life with your family and tribe. Right now, you're in a beautiful place where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into a true sense of home and well-being, understanding that all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true, in harmony with spirit. So the shadow side of this message is, could it be that you're not feeling comfortable in your own skin, thinking that the only way you can be with others is to hide under the protection of a mask or identity you created to protect yourself from getting hurt? This mask or persona is supposed to make you look strong, but it really just robs you of your integrity. Wombat spirit arrives to nudge you to drop the false masks, because it is not others who will hurt you now. It is you who are hurting yourself when you're not being authentic. It's okay, though. You can course correct if you're willing to be yourself, no matter what comes. Even if others are not in agreement with your authenticity, you are safe with spirit. So we're definitely having that reoccurring theme of being true to yourself, and really leaning into who spirit really created you to be. And I highly recommend, again, if you were drawn to pile number 1, to take a look at that as well, for some messages. And Archangel Uriel tends to give us messages that we may not want to hear, but messages that we truly do need to hear. Let's see, I think I'm calling this time to do some tea leaves for you guys. So let's see what kind of tea leaves Archangel Uriel may have for pile number 3. Archangel Uriel, which tea leaves do you have for us today? Let's see. Diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And perhaps maybe through you shining, you're actually giving a gift to the world, is kind of what I'm hearing. So this one. Rabbit, too much concerned with sexual matters. Now, I don't know if I necessarily get that, but in terms of rabbit, I kind of get that sense of abundance. And, together with the brown bird taking the time out, I think that things will multiply, much like rabbits do. In this sense of taking that time out to relax, to reset, and really hone in into who you are, and kind of disseminating which pieces of you are you, and which have been given to you from society, from your ancestors, from others, and things that don't serve you. Yep, this one. Heart here. Deep love, deep affection, and caring. It's just, I'm feeling this huge sense of love again, like kind of that opening up of the heart area, and the universe's love for you. They're making that quite clear for you, pile number 3. That they truly do want to provide for you. Again, the biggest thing is that while the universe has so much that they want to provide you, it is up to us to actually receive that. We can block our blessings and block our flow if we are not receiving that abundance, or if we may feel like we don't deserve those things and therefore say, no, I won't take them. So do keep that in mind. Gosh, there's just so much love that's being shared with Archangel Uriel, and trying to let you know that you are truly loved. Let me take this last one here. Oh, nice. Pin, a new job or career. And it's kind of landing on the be at home. So perhaps, during this time, you may be cultivating a new job or career that really will allow you to be yourself and be able to use the skills that God, source, your angels, your ancestors have given you. So that's pretty neat to hear. So be on the lookout for new job, career prospects, things like that. All right, let's see if we can end this by getting some guidance from Uriel with the different synchronicities. So this one's kind of popping out, and that one. Okay. 2112. It's up to you. Someone watching over you, good fortune, unseen forces and direction. Even if it seems like you're not making meaningful progress, things are moving in the right direction. If you see this number, it's a sign that everything will work out in your favor and your dreams will soon come true. That's pretty cool. So if we're looking at the numbers that make up the 2112, 2 has to do with partnership, with friendships, with it can also be business relationships too as well. And 1 has to do with yourself, your ambition, individuality, passion, those different types of things. So it's definitely leaning into that energy of partnering with other people. And if you're adding all of these together, you end up with the number 6. So that's definitely representing family connections, that mutuality piece here. So it's definitely makes sense on why it says that there's someone watching over you, or at least connecting with you for your good here. Let's see what this next one is. And that, I'm assuming that this is connected to your gift, giving that precious gift to the world. Maybe you're partnering as you end up shining in a way that it will benefit others. And even if the progress is little, know that there is progress. And like I said, you've got some dreams that are coming true, maybe in this new job and career here. So we've got 0110, and it says belief system here, advising you to go after what you want. Again, it's very similar to the it's up to you. Destiny, inspiration, talents, gifts. You are blessed with talents and skills that make it easy for you to stand out in the crowd. Embrace what makes you different. That's your path to success. Your dreams will soon come true. Okay, y'all. That's pretty insane that, these both would end up happening. Looking at the numerology here, 0 represents the God consciousness, universe type of consciousness, and 1 represents you, that ambition, that drive, passion, that's within you, and together it leads to 2. And in this sense, I feel like this is a partnership between you and your source, your those that are beyond ourselves, like your creator. This is that asking for that partnership and belief in how God created you, how you were, all the talents that were within you. So you're called to not, dim that, but to let that shine through. You were made to stand out, right? So let's see what other messages Archangel Uriel may have for you in this time between the first quarter and the moon. Feeling this one. Wow, 111. That's awesome. So that's intuition. It's one of those main synchronicities that's really representing that power, that portal, right? Time to implement long-cherished ideas. You're on the right track towards making your dreams and visions a reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are being sent your way. And it's right where it says the abundant universe will provide. Obviously, trying to let you know that things are sending your way. Happiness and new opportunities, new job and career, are at hand. Trust in the process. And let's do one more. Archangel. Okay. There it goes. Dropped out. Okay, and gut feeling. So this actually came out on, I think this was pile number 1 that this happened with. Let me know down in the comments if this also came out with pile 2. The gut feeling. Follow your gut. It's more than just a feeling. Be real with people. Again, you know, the authenticity, be yourself. Be at home here. Be real with people and focus on meaningful relationships. Remember, you must also bring value to the table. Treat others with respect, or else karma will bite you in the ass. 3 is a crowd. So, again, evaluate your relationships. Recognize those relationships that you feel at home with. Especially, it seems like that might have something to do with a career if you are kind of trying to figure out whether a new career might be right for you during this time between the first quarter and the full moon. Use that as some guidance of, you know, where do you feel at home and where do you feel like you are a stranger? Where do things flow? And where do you find resistance? Between that will help you in finding your abundance, which if you add these together, it ends up with 8. But do know that you have so much of your angels are guiding you. 4 represents that angelic guidance as well as foundations. And again, that 0 is that God consciousness. And so it seems like your time between the first quarter and the full moon for December looks very bright, and I think that we'll just end the reading there. So pile number 3, thank you so much for stopping by with this reading. If anything resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments below if any of this resonated with you. I do want to make sure that this is a community where we can support one another and cheer on one another with love and light. And so I'd love to hear your story if you're willing to share it with me. But until our next time, know that I love you. Obviously, Source and the universe, God, and your angels love you. And know that we're all in this together. Bye.